Welcome to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading a book called Something Happened to My Dad, a story about immigration and family separation. This powerful book is written by Hazzard and Aponte Rivera. This book is illustrated by Gloria Felix. I hope that you learn something from this powerful book and the difficulties families face when they are separated. Now let's get ready for story time. Something Happened to My Dad, a story about immigration and family separation. Carmen's father was a magician. He made serapes fly. He made rabbits vanish. But one day, Carmen's father vanished. Her mother said he was arrested because he didn't have papers. "We have plenty of paper," Carmen said. "Not the kind Papi needs," Mama replied. "People who weren't born in the U.S. need government papers to live or work here." "Do you have papers, Mama?" "Yes, you and I were born here," said Carmen's mom. "Papi was born in Mexico." "Can we give him ours?" Carmen asked. Her mother wiped away a tear and shook her head. Carmen lay awake, her mind racing. She tried to picture Papi in a detention center. Her mother said that's where they take immigrants without papers. Carmen worried that her dad would get sent back to Mexico. Before school, Carmen's mom said, "Don't tell anyone what's going on. I don't want people to look down on us." In the cafeteria, Carmen didn't say a word. She moved the food around on her plate. "Are you okay?" asked Riley. "I'm just tired," said Carmen. She wondered if Mama was right. Would people really think less of them because Papi didn't have papers? Hmm. Carmen's abuela cooked tamales for dinner. "Remember the magic trick Papi did for my birthday party?" asked Carmen. "Of course," said her abuela. "He turned a peanut butter and jelly sandwich into a tamal." "And then he ate it," added Carmen's mom. For the first time in days, Carmen smiled. "How can we get Papi out?" she asked. "We have to convince a judge to allow him to stay in the U.S., said Carmen's abuelo. "We need an immigration lawyer to help us." "But we can't afford one," said her mother. "We can barely pay our bills without money from Papi's job." The next week, Carmen's classmates shared family histories. Riley told about her dad's ancestor who immigrated from Ireland many years ago. Irish people were starving because the potato crop got ruined. Jaden told about his mom's ancestors who were brought here from Africa. They were forced to work as slaves on plantations. Nazar and his family used to live in Syria. His uncle was a doctor who was killed in a war there. "We might have died if we stayed," Nazar said. When it was Carmen's turn, she said that her mother's parents came from Mexico for better paying jobs. She did not mention her father. In the library, Rosa asked her what was wrong. Carmen covered her mouth, but words rushed out anyway. "Papi got arrested because he doesn't have papers. He might get deported back to Mexico. What if I never see him again?" Some kids had been listening, and they told some other kids. A few gave Carmen funny looks, but Nazar said, "My favorite neighbor doesn't have papers." Carmen's mother asked her if anyone knew about Papi. "I told Rosa," admitted Carmen, "and some other kids overheard. Are you mad?" "No, mi amor," said Carmen's mom. "I told a friend who knows a good lawyer, and our church wants to collect money to help us pay." "Let's tell Papi," said Carmen. It took hours to drive to the detention center. Carmen curled up in Papi's lap, content as a cat. Mama said, "If the church asks for donations, everyone will know our situation." "I'm not embarrassed," answered Papi. "We've built a beautiful life." "Families belong together," said Carmen. "People will want to help us." That's true. Finally, Carmen met the family's new lawyer. She was thrilled, imagining that the lawyer would quickly free Papi. But 3 months passed and the family was still apart. At school, Rosa asked about Papi. Carmen sighed. "It might be a long time before the judge decides." "Lo siento," said Rosa. Riley brought over a sign-up sheet for the spring talent show. "Remember last year?" she asked. "Your dad pulled a flower out of the principal's ear." Carmen was torn. If she entered the contest, more kids might ask why her father wasn't there. But she was tired of just waiting. What would Papi want her to do? What do you think he wants her to do? Jaden began the talent show with some spectacular karate kicks. Next, Rosa's cousins danced, with skirts flying high. Carmen paced off stage. Soon there would be nowhere to hide. She imagined Papi's smile, warm as buttered toast. She took a deep breath, put on her hat, and stepped forward. In the audience, she saw her mother, her grandparents, and some families from church. For her final trick, Carmen linked and unlinked 3 silver rings. "These rings are my papi, mama, and me," she declared. "Great job, Carmen." "That last trick was amazing," said Nazar. "How did you do it?" "That's between Papi and me," said Carmen. "One secret worth keeping," added her mom. Carmen felt brave, strengthened by memories of Papi and smiles from friends. Boldly waving her wand, she said, "Magic comes in many forms." There's her papa, her, and her mama. The end. Thank you so much for reading Something Happened to My Dad with me. I hope that you enjoyed this story, and I hope that it shows you that some families get separated, but they still find ways to continue to move on and love one another from afar. Please come back and check often as I read new stories each week. Have a beautiful day.